idea came from, to say, let me set up a company which will enable people, no matter where you're from, your background, to be able to buy confidently, securely, and added value services. So it just started as a real estate agency 17 years ago, selling other people's properties. Fast forward, became partner developer, and 17 years later now, fully fledged developer. It hasn't been easy, but nothing good comes easy.
The reason why I'm excited to be here tonight is just not me, because it's not about me. It's about a company that I truly admire, and I respect their visionaries and the way they are taking our Gambia to the next level. You know, Global Properties, where they are right now, was once upon a time a dream for a little girl like myself, seeing the Gambia where it is right now. And the fact that they are taking it to the next level, I can't be more proud to represent them tonight. So please give it up for Global Properties. Thank you all. Today is a very significant day in the United States. Of course, happy Independence Day to all American citizens out here, and the ones are not here, but of course, celebrating Independence Day as well. So I want to thank you all for being here, because it's such an important day, and most people are spending with their families and loved ones and having barbecues and stuff. But you guys being here means a lot to us, and on behalf of Global Properties, I say thank you all so much for being here. So with that being said, tonight is about celebration, of course. I don't know if you guys also know this AJARA, which is the Gambian Association here in Atlanta. They've been hosting the July 4th weekend for the past 30-some years now. And every year they will host it from the Friday all the way to the Saturday, depending on which the weekend falls on. So this year they are hosting it from tomorrow, which is the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th. And the reason why I love that particular initiative behind the program is how much the importance of putting Gambians together all over the United States. And the fact that it's more of a family reunion where if you haven't seen someone in a long time, it's the perfect place to kind of like connect again. Kids growing up from different families. It's also a perfect time for us to get to know each other and celebrate our beloved Gambia. Thank you. So it's also going to be this weekend, so it's a very significant weekend. And Global Properties being here this particular day makes it even more significant, because we're talking about celebrating our beloved Gambia. How can we celebrate the Gambia without showing the world what Gambia is right now? Something that the mainstream media will never ever do. So we have obligation to ourselves to make sure we are working for Gambia, and also let people know that, hey, this is not the Africa that is showing you. Africa is actually beauty, and Gambia is one of the most beautiful countries in the whole entire African region. I'm sorry. Thank you. Again, back to Global Properties. Global Properties is such a significant company for me personally, because their history and what they stand for is something that's very dear to me, because it's breaking all the ceilings. You know, everything that's been put out there as Africa cannot be, that's what is happening right now in our beloved Gambia. So brief summary, of course, about Global Property. The founder, Mr. Saul Fraser, he started it. Please give it up, please. Thank you for making our dreams come true. Global Property has been out there for over 17 years in counting. You know, it started in 2007. And the beauty about Global Property is just not in Gambia. You know, we have properties in Senegal, in Ghana, we have a virtual office here in the U.S. and also the U.K. So Global Properties, just like the name, is actually going global as we speak. So each and every one of you that are here today, investing and getting your properties in the Gambia while you're here, what a peace of mind, right? Global Properties again, ladies and gentlemen.
Right, okay.
Thank you. Shortly, I will introduce, of course, Mr. Saul Fraser, the founder of Global Property, and he will tell us a little bit more about himself, because I can go over and over again, on and on about him, but I would love for himself to tell you guys exactly his story and where he started, and why Global Property is the only investment properties that every single Gambian or every single black person in this world should invest in. Because their name said it, and also the relationship they have with their customers said it, and the way they are going global by making sure that your investment is also safe. Not just you have an investment with them, but they make sure it's safe. So which I found so amazing about what they do. So ladies and gentlemen, if you can please put your hands together for Mr. Saul Fraser, the founder, the CEO, the general manager of Global Properties.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Happy Independence Day. And thank you very much for taking your valuable time to be here with us today. It's an honor to see everyone in the crowd, and I couldn't thank you enough. The saying that Gambians can't do anything, or with Gambians nothing happens, I want that to change today, because one of the reasons why I'm standing here today presenting Lakeview is because a sister of mine by the name of Gambia reached out to me a couple of years ago. When she came, she said, well, we have this project that we don't want to work with anyone else but with Global Properties. And that was a challenge right there. She then mentioned that brother was supposed to come, and when he's in town, we were supposed to meet and see what were the possibilities. Fast forward, the brother came, we met in the office, had a chat, visited the site, and then negotiations started. I think the negotiation went for about a year or so. A couple of times we threw the towel, we gave up because we couldn't get the agreement that we wanted. But then perseverance, and I repeat, perseverance, and again, perseverance is what got us through. Despite all the hard work, all the rejections, all the problems that we were facing, we just knew that the moment the Saucer family and Global Properties came together, we would create a miracle. And I think in the videos that you just saw now regarding the Lakeview, nobody can doubt what an amazing project that we have in front of you. Despite the fact that we're just, 20%, maybe 10, 15, less than 10% construction, we have sold more than 55% of the development so far. And for me, it's down to three things. The location. Superb location, right on the Kotu Highway, opposite the Kotu Police Station. Close proximity to Kairaba Avenue, as well as Banjul, away from the noisy Senegambia, or what you may call it. But most importantly, we're offering luxury at an affordable price. And I would encourage you to sit through the whole presentation and look at the other things that we have available for you. My speech will be brief initially, because I'm just here to introduce myself and introduce my amazing partner and wife, Jilan, where's she hiding now? She's going to take you through the projects that we have. And then hopefully after the presentation, I will come back here and tell you a bit more about my story, how I started this whole thing 17 years ago, and what the plan is for us for the next 17 years. So enjoy the presentation, and I'll speak to you soon. I also want to mention the presence of American Chamber of Commerce here, my brother, Modulan running. We'll give him the opportunity to also speak a bit about what they're doing and how we're collaborating, but that will come after our presentation. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Solfez. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up to this gentleman. And moving on, we're going to have the beautiful Ms. Njilan Fraser to come here and actually walk us through the presentation that we have tonight. And with that being said, the only thing I want to need from you, my beautiful, amazing audience, is just please sit tight and watch through the presentation. And if you have any questions or any concern, as soon as she's done with the presentation, that's where I will come in and moderate your questions to make sure that you get the best and the right answer. And any concern you have, we'll make sure that it's being addressed. So ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Njilan Fraser.
Just quickly to run through what I have to offer. Global Properties has been, we're obviously in the Gambia, Senegal and Ghana. We call ourselves the Smiling Coast. For those of you guys who have never been there, the Smiling Coast of Africa. We have lots of sunshine, English-speaking, very vibrant community, okay? And it's investor friendly as well. We're in Ghana, Senegal, and the Gambia. Our company was founded 17 years ago by Mr. Sol Fraser. I will let him give you insights about where he started and how he founded this company, because it's essential. He actually solved the problem, so I'll let him do the storytelling later on. We're the pioneers of the first land mortgage scheme. So prior to Global Properties, there was no land mortgage scheme available in the Gambia. So people had to buy land outright and only from individuals. And we're also proud to say that we're the first NEA, National Environmental Agency certified project for creating an environmentally friendly project. We're into sales, rentals, leasing, property development, even property management as well, and mortgage advice. And that's why we have our colleague Malik here from GT Bank, who's also assisting with the mortgage options. As far as our offers, we start with Greenville, which is one of the NEA certified projects we have at the moment, and we're offering land and houses. And here, the land we're offering is 15 by 20. It's 300 meters squared, and you can build a property on this and still have space for boys' quarters in the back. It's normally $400,000, but today we're doing it at a promotion. So instead of $6,000, we're doing it for $5,100. So try to take advantage of these promotions that we have going on today. There's a lot of them coming up. With Greenville, the highlight of Greenville is that, yes, you can buy land anywhere, but the idea of buying in Greenville, you have the guarantee of water, electricity, and internal roads. So it's not just about buying land, it's about buying land in a location where you can actually develop the land. So the options with Greenville are available for anyone who's interested in purchasing land. You can develop it now or develop it later because it's already accessible. In the same estate, we have the houses, which I'll share with you in the next slide. Now, if you say, I'm not interested in going to Gunjur, I'm not interested in going to Greenville, we also have offers for individual plots of land that you're looking for. So if you're looking for a plot of land, perhaps in a different location, we also specialize in that. We can source it out for you based on your budget. So it's not only limited to one area, but just to highlight the advantage of having in an estate is that you have these guaranteed amenities that are already there. And likewise, if it's somewhere else, we may be able to guarantee that. Okay? So those are the offers. Don't forget, Greenville is $900 off if you buy it here with us, okay? The built houses, as I mentioned in Greenville, we're building bungalows there. They're 3-bedroom bungalows. We have about 10 of them already there, and half of it's already sold. They're going for $3 million with a 1-year payment plan. So you give me $900,000, the rest you can pay over a period of 12 months. That's the flexibility you have with the internal payment plans we have. Now you can also go with the financing with the bank, where Malik is here and he can just give you the instructions and you fill out the form and you can do it for 10 years. So you could either be paying $2,500 a month for 1 year and get the house, or you could be paying about $400 a month and get it. You can get the house accessible easily because it's a mortgage. You'll be paying the bank over a period of 10 years. So either or, it depends on what options you're looking at as a buyer. They're all newly built. These are the 3-bedroom bungalows. And the Greenville estate has over 700 units that are available there. Half of it is through the house, 200 is for the housing, and the remaining is plots of land that we're selling. The plot of land, I can say it's about 60% already sold, so just a limited amount left there for the plots. This is the typical layout of a bungalow at the Greenville housing. You have the living room, you have the kitchen area, then you have 2 bedrooms, they share 1 toilet, and you have a master bedroom that has its own separate toilet. We also have the airport residency estate. It's located in Oludu. So if you're into story buildings, we have multiple offers there, and they're all newly built, and the payment plans can go up to 3 years. There you'll see the 2-bedroom A-Sky. That's going for $69,500. By the way, I also have a promotion going on for 10% off at the airport as well. So from $69,500, you can take out 10%. So that's going to bring you down to about $61,000 for a 2-bedroom story building. Also have the Kaba, which is a 2-bedroom, $79,500. And this special one is a 3-bedroom for $79,500, plus you get a 10% discount as well. And it's 12 months to build the house. So you can put a 20% deposit, and the balance is paid over 12 months, or you can go up to 24 months or 36 months, depending on wherever you're looking for in terms of your own budget. And we also have 3-bedroom options for Delta. And then lastly, you have the Emirates. If you're looking for a grand mansion, really big, Emirates, it's about $158,000, minus 10%, about $142,000. Again, 20% deposit, and you can go over 12 months or 24 or 36 months. Okay? So, just to give you a trend of where we're heading in terms of development, because when we look at Gold Properties, we look at the portfolio of what we have to offer. And with Global, we cater to everybody. So if you're just coming for land, we have land options available. If you're coming for property, we have built houses, we have built houses available. It depends on what you're looking for as a buyer. But this trend that I'm going to show you now, it's going to tell where we're heading. So from the beginning, you have just 1 estate for land. I have 2 estates for housing. Yet I have 5 developments of apartment buildings. What does that tell you? We're leaning more towards that because that's where the demand is coming from. That's where the passion, people are more interested now in these types of developments. So I have 5 developments I want to share with you today with lovely pictures. Of course, the first one is my favorite. I'm being biased here. It's the Lakeview Apartments, but honestly, it's a really good development considering the location. And also over the years, we've built of apartment complexes. And all that experience we've had, we've transferred it over to Lakeview. So if you complain of the small sizes in Aquaview, we've addressed that in Lakeview. You complain it's too far in Bigelow in inside Gambia, we've addressed that issue. It's now in Kotu, it's on the highway. So that's one of the reasons why it's my favorite, because I know the clientele and that our clients are looking for a location like Lakeview. Again, 10% discounts at Lakeview, so take advantage of that. We have studio 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms at Lakeview, different sizes depending on what you're looking for, but they're definitely more spacious. If you've seen Aquaview and other developments like Forest View, this is definitely bigger than that. We launched Lakeview in January, and with 178 apartments. And today is July. We're in July. It's 60% sold already. So let's get a clap for that. So the project is 2.5 years to go, and we're looking to sell out as soon as possible so that we can go on to the next projects for Lakeview. And some of the images, you can see the interior renders for Lakeview. This is the size of a bedroom. You can have comfortably your bed and wardrobe, modern toilets, kitchens, all fitted, appliances come with it. You have the oven, the hob, the fridge, washing machine, all inclusive with it. And by the way, we can furnish the apartments for you. So it's a little bit extra, but we do furnishing as well, if you wanted it. Here's the typical decor of the living room area, another angle of it. Now this is a studio apartment where you have sort of a hotel-like setup. You'll still have the bed on the other side, but there's no wall dividing the space, but it's a studio setup, okay? That's the Kotu Lake. We're going to beautify it even more, by the way. So. And this is a rendering of the view from the highway itself. So when you're driving on our new super highway, you'll be seeing this lovely development on the right-hand side coming from traffic lights. And this is an aerial view of the development. The highlight for Lakeview again is the space. You get more space here. It's more of a community environment. You have a lot of green spaces. You have families that are living there. The kids will be able to play around. There's a playground. You have the pool, restaurant, mini market. Everything is all inclusive so that when you are there, you're comfortable. You don't have to go out anywhere. Next we have Baraka Estate, which is in Balcote. And with Baraka, I have just about 8 units, and I'm doing a promotion of 15%. So with Baraka, you can get an apartment of $65,000 for $51,000 after the discount, 15%. And Baraka is obviously not inside this, around the Gambia or the seaside area, but in Kololi, it's not far from that area. So it's still in a location where it's easily rentable. So you could buy at a lower cost, but then be able to rent it out over time. And it's already completed. So with Baraka advantages, you could buy it now and then be able to access it now and pay it off. It's in Balcote. And here's some of the images of the Baraka estate. Very spacious as well. Then the third project we have is the Horizon. How many of you know where Aquaview is? Aquaview Apartments. So raise your hand up. Okay. So Horizon is the second phase to Aquaview. It's literally next door to Aquaview. It's right behind Aquaview. And it's going to be a tall tower, as you can see here. 10% discount as well. There's a tall tower. You're going to have 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms. You'll have some sea views, but it's starting from the 9th floor because Aquaview is in front of us. But then the rest of the floors are just as beautiful and spacious and well decorated. And prices are starting at $75,000 at Aquaview for a 1 bedroom. Sorry, Horizon. See the rendering for Horizon? So there's some beach views and some highway views. These are some of the internal renders. Just to give you an idea on the concept and the space. Internal decor is based on your choice. So it's not the final decor, it's based on what you choose as far as the internal decor. And all of our developments with the apartments, they come with a gym, a mini market, restaurant, pool, and a kids playground area. So make sure that all these amenities are included within the developments. Okay. Then we have Diplomat, which is going at a 12% discount. Diplomat is actually located in Canning. It's more of the industrial area. So with Diplomat is a new concept of live, work, and play. So you have shopping areas there, you have offices there, and you also have residents. So it's a combination of all three. It's a new concept, but we're giving it a thought because we're developing, we're growing, we want to have different types of apartment buildings. So this is where the concept of Diplomat comes. It's in Canning, about 20% sold. And 1 bedrooms are starting at $106,000. Again, a payment plan of 20% deposit and over a period of 2 years. And here's some of the images of Diplomat with the internal rendering, also very spacious. So the front side of the building, you have the commercial space. On the ground, you have a shopping center, and then in the back, you have the residence. So you get to have all three in one place. And this is the kitchen rendering. Okay. And today we're launching the view. It's located in Fajara. Has not been advertised yet, but we have an exclusive inside just for anyone who's coming to our events. And these are luxury seafront apartments that are located in Fajara, next to Lebato. Not sure if you guys know where Lebato is, but it's right next to Lebato, but there's nothing between the project and the beach. So it's direct sea views. Pricing is starting at $134,000 for 1 bedrooms. And it can go up to $500,000 depending on the penthouse that you want to keep. And they're quite spacious as well. And it's a 3-year payment plan with 20% deposit. And it's located in Fajara. Okay. And all the towers that we have elevators in it. So like Aquaview, we have 7 elevators at Aquaview and they're operating normal. Because the first question I get asked is, you have an elevator in Narek. So when it comes to these developments, we consider all of these things and we make sure that there's always a backup. So with all of our apartment complex buildings, there's a backup generator inclusive of the development. And even if the backup generator fails, you still have a backup system for the elevator, so it takes you to the next floor safely. So there's still a power system that's backed up, even if the generator fails. And if you've stayed at Aquaview, it's very rare to see power outage at Aquaview. Whenever it goes off, generators come immediately on. And this is the concept we're following with all of our developments that we have moving forward. We're trying to advance. And here are some of the images. As you can see, it's direct sea view. There's nothing in between the sea and the development. So all the units that are facing the front and the sides will have the sea views there. So almost 60% sea view. The lovely sunset. And this is the tower. And this project starts in October. Again, we're just having an inside preview just for the tour. But the project is actually starting in October and for 3 years. We're also involved in commercial properties. If you guys have seen our tall building, the tallest building in Gambia, our 11-story building, office building, which is called the Global House. It's between traffic lights and Kotu. And we offer commercial spaces for rent. It's going to be completed by the end of the year. So anyone interested in running a business there, looking for commercial space, it's also available. It's 11 floors and also with an elevator and a reception service. And lastly, we realized over the years that it's not all about selling, developing, and handing over. It's important that when we do these developments, our customers are satisfied, not only to the point of handing over, but also when they're living in these developments. So we have a sister company called Eden Homes, and we do property management. And what we do with property management, for example, at Aquaview, we've developed the building, we've sold it, and now we're managing it to ensure that all the promises that we made to our clients are being delivered. So one of the promises, for example, would be the return on investment. I can tell you that almost all of our clients that have bought for investment are actually getting a return on their investment over the past 2 years. I've had clients who have received more than $3 million in rental income from their properties that they've invested in Aquaview. So for us, it's important, being property managers, to be able to make sure that our clients are satisfied, that all that rental income that we promised them, they're actually getting it. Second aspect of the property management is ensuring that the building is sustainable. The building is being taken care of, because no one wants to invest in something and come 10 years down the line, we don't even want to look at Aquaview. But if you look at the way we're managing the property now, ensuring that the securities are there, for example, ensuring that there's cleaners in the building, making sure the building is being cleaned 24 hours. Make sure that there's the pool attendance, the garden being maintained. These are all elements that are quite important to us, and we don't want to just risk it to anybody. So we also make sure that we manage the buildings once we hand over. We're making sure that we have a full team, 24-hour reception service at Aquaview, for example. If you stayed there, if you needed cash power, all you have to do is just pick up the phone and say, hello, I don't have cash power. We'll buy the cash power, put it in the meter, and come to your door and collect the money from you. So offering that, that level of service is important, because with these investments, clients need to understand that it's safeguarded, that you're not just putting your money somewhere and then you come 5 years down the line and no one knows what's happened to the building. And there's other measures we put in place, like insurances that buyers would put together. We set up associations, and these are all part of the property management aspect of Eden Homes. So we do estate management with the developments like Baraka Estate, Aquaview, and the apartment developments. We also manage individual properties as well. If we've sold you a land or we sold you a property and you're not there, you want us to manage it for you, find rentals, even just to take care of that house. Maybe not to rent it, but to send cleaners for you there on a monthly basis, make sure the house is being kept well. We send security guards for you. We do everything in terms of managing the property as well. And then obviously the most important part is rentals, so you can get a return on your investment. And these are all the elements that we make sure that we cover with the property management. So we're not leaving you hanging at the end of the day. It's not like we're selling to you and say, well, you gotta figure it out. No, we make sure that we're there around and said hello to most people here, but he's around, he's opening accounts. But most importantly, the financing aspect is important for us to offer to clients. And most people think that, okay, because you don't live in Gambia, you can't get financing. No. You can have financing here with your employment verification here. You can have financing with your salary that you're earning here. You don't have to be in Gambia or work in Gambia to get financing from these banks. So you can definitely do it from here. 6 easy steps. having an account with GT Bank, which you can get done here while Malik is here. Proof of employment, your 3-month salary slip, employment verification. Now, if you're not working and you have your own business, you just need your business registration, and also your 6-month account statement. So this way you can submit that, and they will be able to vet those documents to see whether you qualify for the loan. And then a mortgage request letter, followed by the application form, which is, we have all these documents available. We'll be able to share with anybody who's interested. And you never know until you try it, right? Just, if you think you can qualify, just go ahead and fill out the form, and then we can pre-approve it. Again, he's also opening accounts. I'm sure he's gone through it, but valid passport, size photo, your ID, TIN certificate, residential address, and just signing the indemnity form. But anything that you don't have, we can also help you get, like people ask about the TIN. We can help you get your TIN card if you don't have one. It's free, it's in the Gambia. I mean, it just needs your ID and your mother's name, and we can apply for that for free. So these are additional value-added services we have within Global Properties, because we want to make sure that the clients are happy. It's not a matter of find your financing and then come to us. No, come to us, we'll help you find the financing. If you can't find the TIN, come to us, we'll get the TIN and take it to Malik, and we'll get the financing for you. So we're here with 100% all-rounded services, and that's what we live for, pretty much. The terms and conditions, usually the bank determines whether you qualify for the loan, but usually it's just based on the documentation that you're submitting. They have their interest rates based on what's happening with the central bank rates, so Malik will be able to share those, and then you have the monthly payment with the interest as well. And again, it can go up to 10 years. And there are 2 fees attached to it, which is the arraignment fee of 1%, and then the legal fee, which is of 5% of the loan amount. And all of the projects we have today, you can apply for loans. You can even apply for foreign currency loans. Right, Malik? Right, good. So you can open foreign currency accounts. You don't have to have Dallas accounts alone. You can have US dollar accounts. Send your money there. If you want to make a payment, you can pay from your local accounts, GT Bank, to our accounts that are there for the projects and stuff. But yeah, so we took the initiative of this tour because our clients are important to us. And some of the clients that are here just came to say hello, or because we've never met them. They've bought properties and I've never met them. So we just came to say hello to our clients. Some of the clients are coming here, they want to know more information about properties. So we feel that it's important we come to our clients and give them the leverage and give them the information that they need. So this way, whatever they want to ask, they can do it at this point. So this is why we're here. We took the initiative because, Saul always says, it's because of our clients that we're here. And it's important we value our clients and make sure we take good care of them. But we're going to Dallas next. If you know anyone in any of these states, you can let them know. We have the flyers we'll share. We'll be in Dallas, Texas. We're going to Seattle as well, Minneapolis, New York, Maryland, New Orleans, and North Carolina. And these are just locations we selected where we had people respond back to us. We had clients calling us to come over. So that's why we selected these locations. But if you have other locations you want us to go to, we'll be happy to arrange that. And once again, thank you for your time. If you've been around, you can try to register by scanning the QR code so we can have your contact details. We don't really send out newsletters for any updates we have for clients, so we can also include you in that update list so that you can receive all of the updates we have. And once again, thank you.
Thank you, Angela. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Ms. Angela Fraser. Thank you. That was a beautiful presentation, and I was in wow of some of the beautiful projects that they are working on right now. And it's just, like I said, it was once a dream, and now it's actually a reality that we Gambians can have these amenities, top-notch qualities with Global Properties. Please, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Global Properties one more time. Thank you. So moving on, we're going to have Mr. Mumulamin Ramin from AmCham to come up here and tell us a little bit about your company as well.
Hello, good evening. Imam, it's good seeing you. Yeah, good seeing you. So my name is Mo Drame. Most of you knew me by Mo Drame in Atlanta. So I have relocated back to the Gambia in 2021. The reason why most of you don't see me anymore. I'm this new CEO of the American Chamber of Commerce, Gambia. The Chamber, my focal, the present American Chamber of Commerce, is not only the old way of suitcase trade that they used to do, bring their 2-4 suitcases to Atlanta for the July 4th, sell their products and go back. I wanted to go beyond that in a new way. So what I'm doing now, apart from the export that we're trying to open up the door for the Gambia, it's very sad that the Gambia is part of the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA, and all our neighbors are exporting products, including Gambian-owned products, from their countries into the United States. So what America did was to give these countries in Africa to be able to bring their products into America duty-free, tax-free, right? I'm going to give you 2 examples. The Gambia, according to statistics or data, is exporting only at 3%. And that 3% probably is through people like Sawan in Atlanta, who is taking the bull by the horn and bringing in Gambian products, Gambian-made products into Atlanta. So maybe even he may be doing 0.2%, 0.3%. Our neighbors, Senegal, wild guess, how many percent do you think that they're doing? 60%. So recently I met with the American embassy, and they had a State Department representative for West Africa. And when the man came in, and I'm arguing with him about the 3%. What is the data? The 3%, the data came from 2022. $1 million only that Gambia exported into the United States. Senegal probably is doing $500 million, right? If you don't believe what I'm trying to tell you today, go to Kroger. Go to these shelves and look at where they sell the tuna. Tuna. My favorite is the lemon pepper flavor. Look at where it is produced, right? Most likely you see Senegal. But guess where the tuna is coming from? Gambia. The Gambia. Chakri, you may go to one of these stores here on Old National. Look at those chakris. They are packaged, sold by either Ivory Coast or Mali or Guinea or Senegal. A lady who is a member of ANCHA, American Chamber of Commerce, told me her chakri is actually exported to Mali and then repackaged in Mali to be exported back in the United States. Meaning there's a problem in the Gambia, right? It's not that we can do it in the Gambia. It's not that our women cannot produce in the Gambia. We have a problem in the Gambia, which is to how do we export and meet these criteria to be able to export our produce made in the Gambia. So recently my office, I'm in conversation with the American embassy, who are now talking to my office. Because previously they felt like anybody coming through ANCHA wants to come to America to come bring their suitcases to sell. That's all they were doing. They asked me, what do I want to do? There are 3 sections under the AGOA Act. It's either agricultural produce package, or it is textile, or arts and craft. So since agricultural produce are very hard to come to America to export them, but people like Sawane are doing it through their hard work, and they know there are ways to get around and do it and bring it here to be able to enjoy your Gambian-made produce in America. How about if we can get a gateway where we can be able to export, just like what Senegal is doing. So my initiative right now, because last year I did a summit in December called How Do You Have Access to Real Estate in the Gambia Through Banking Services? That's the diaspora. And this year, with partnerships like Global Properties, Vista Bank, GT Bank, Trust Bank, we were able to at least have a real conversation and how to get to everybody in the diaspora, not only Gambians, but there are a lot of African Americans now coming to the Gambia, calling Gambia their home. So one of my initiatives is that, but the second part I'm banking on right now is through the textile. And the textile is complicated, but they told me, if you can prove and be creative to add value to any textile that would prove that it's 35% Gambian made, it can be exported. And I'm sure our women are that creative to be able to get materials that they can make in Gambia, or they can add value to from the Gambia, like the fataro. I don't know how they call fataro in Wolof, right? I don't know how they call it in Wolof. No, the truth. Silk, right? I have seen handbags that are being made now in the Gambia with the sale on it, right? And if they can create that, handbags, very beautiful, very Afrocentric, those are things that can come into America duty-free. So, but we like to see what global property is not, have not done. Global property, 17 years, they will tell you the lack of support that they had from the Gambians, or from Gambia. Not from the Gambians, from the Gambia, right? We cannot sit back and say we're not getting support, we're not going to be able to export. Some of these women are giving up before they even get started. Global property never gave up. And look at where they are today. My favorite is the Diplomat, by the way, that is right opposite the stadium. You're looking over Banjul, on your left you're looking over Senegambia, right? They are being innovative, they are being creative, and now they are reaching out to every Gambian that is in the diaspora. If you know how to build a house in the Gambia, you know the troubles that you go through. The old ways of using your aunties and your uncles who go probably, yeah, okay, or you give it to your best friend who will go and squander your money and all that. Think about it. You don't have to set a foot in the Gambia. You in Atlanta right here, owning a property in the Gambia. You are choosing your own ways of what you want. You chose your own terms and conditions. So I'm thinking, and I'm believing that we in the diaspora who know what we have here in America, that's the reason why I went home. Things that we can do to bring back home, to add value to what is already in the Gambia, right? How do we connect the dots? How do we connect America to Gambia? Because Gambia will not be developed by the people that you call the developers. It's going to be developed by us Gambians alone. And that's what Global Properties is doing. So I'm encouraging each and every one of you who may have an interest in trade between America and Gambia, or Gambia to America, you can come join AmCham as a member. We have a membership form that I can WhatsApp to each and every one of you. Mr. Sawane, I've been trying to reach out to you for so many times. You know I'm going to call you out. I ran into your store a couple of times. And Sawane, by the way, if we have 5 of Sawanes in the Gambia, what this man is doing, today, Gambians will not be buying products from other countries. I promise you that. And that 3% I'm telling you that we are exporting is no longer going to be 3%. It will be $3 million at least a year. We're doing $1 million, 2022 to 2024, $1 million. Senegal is doing $500 million. Ivory Coast is doing $800 million. Ghana probably is doing about probably $1 billion. And these are tools that are available to us to utilize. So what do? We come with creative ways, find how we can get Gambian products into the United States. Now I'm engaging government officials. By the way, I don't have friends in the Gambia anymore. I am the hard-headed Atlanta boy knocking on people's doors, government officials' doors. I go to them, introduce myself to them, say, listen, I'm the American Chamber of Commerce. I know I cannot export anything, but I can create ways if we work together, right? So what I do now, I engage the American Embassy in the Gambia to call out these government officials, invite them, explain to them, talk to them, train them on what is AGO, what is the African Growth and Opportunity Act. It's not for the Ministry of Trade only. It's not for the Ministry of Agriculture only. It's not for GAIPA only. But they will tell me, oh, I am the exporting body in the Gambia. If you don't come to me, oh well. So which means Gambia cannot export. Because somebody feels like you have to go to them in order for you to export. So what I'm doing now, humbly, I go to each one of them now, right? Including food and safety. I said, let's form a team. AmCham, Gambia Chamber of Commerce, Minister of Trade, GAIPA. Let's come up with, don't bring me your permanent secretaries. Bring me your staff, the ones you feel like they know the know-how. Let's come together. Let's find a project. What are we missing? We're missing facilities that the American government cannot approve because we don't have processing centers that can be approved. You go to this lady who has the best findi in the Gambia, right? Where does she produce her findi? See, body wire, right? The American government will not accept that. You find somebody doing the comb, smoking the comb, using carton or whatever, it's not approved. So what do? Let us come up with a project, go to the government, tell them we need facilities. The food and safety is the equivalence of probably the U.S. Food safety or something like that, right? FDA. Bring them to America, the food and safety, train them, show them how, certify them, right? So that if the food safety would inspect anybody in the Gambia and approve them, if they have their stamp, which means that US FDA will accept it. These are ways. Why are we not exporting? Since 2008, they used to have our women like Adelatunde Awakan, who would work hard to bring a container full of foodstuff, right? Who was supporting them? They were doing it from their own pocket. So what my chamber is now doing is to engage all these individuals, individual institutions, right? But on the other side, I'm not only doing the trade, we also encourage investment. If you come from America, you come to Gambia, we encourage you to come to the chamber, whereby we can connect you with the right people. Those who don't feel like, oh, I don't want to go to the real estate companies, you are an American, you come to the chamber, you are my family, I walk you through to my real estate company. So Global Property is my partner in the Gambia, Trust Bank is my partner in the Gambia, Vista Bank is my partner in the Gambia, Africell is my partner in the Gambia. The reason why I'm mentioning these names, most of them, 90% of them, are American-owned companies, like Vista Bank is in America here. So, but we encourage Gambian-owned companies to come to AmCham so that we can find ways coming into America in a better way than we don't have to struggle to connect with them. So I'm the bridge between the Gambia and America. And I would encourage each and every one of you, if you cannot be a partner of AmCham, you can be a member of AmCham. So Sawane, I'm looking forward for you signing my form today to become a member of AmCham. All right? So thank you very much, everybody. And by the way, this is special to me because Atlanta is my home away from home. So I wanted to make sure that I come here today. Saul will tell you, when he bought my ticket, it was on Tuesday. I bought my ticket on Tuesday afternoon, drove to Dakar to get my flight, to get to Dakar before 9 p.m. I left Banjul at 6 p.m. I was flying, so I made that flight to make it to Atlanta because Atlanta is a special to me. This is a home away from home. So anything that's good from the Gambia that needs to come to Atlanta, I'm behind it. So let's work together as a family, let's collaborate. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mawalvab. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up. Great information, Wally. Great information, and I'm just so proud of my Gambian brothers and sisters. Ladies and gentlemen, I will introduce Mr. Tom Fraser one more time again. He will tell us a little bit about himself and where he started, and of course, we get to know him a little bit.
Thank you, Mimi. Thank you, Mr. Drama. Amazing. So, as I started earlier, I was born and raised in the Gambia. I'm 47 years old now. Spent part of my life in Sweden, I think a good 10 years, and then another 10 years in England. I moved back home in 2007. That was when I started my company, Global Properties. But as you know, that most successful businesses are the businesses that solve problems. So I was actually out there. This is a well-documented story about myself, but for the interest of the people that haven't heard it before, I'll just keep a short version. I was out to solve my own problem. Living and working in the UK, had 2 jobs, saved up money, sent it back home for someone to buy a piece of land for me, and I lost it. And for me, that was the turning point, because I thought it was fundamentally wrong for something like that to happen. Why do you have to buy a property to go through a third party when you can go to an established company. And that's where the idea came from, to say, let me set up a company which will enable people, no matter where you're from, your background, to be able to buy confidently, securely, and added value services. So it just started as a real estate agency 17 years ago, selling other people's properties. Fast forward, became a partner developer, and 17 years later now, fully fledged developer. It hasn't been easy, but nothing good comes easy, as I said. And I'm happy to sit or stand here today and share my story with you and hope to answer any questions that you may have. So it's time for the Q&A. If anybody has any question, I would love to try to answer it at least.
Thank you very much for a wonderful presentation. Thank you. Do you get any support from government when you start?
No, not when I started.
That's a good question.
A long time before government came to support. But again, with everything else, you have to prove yourself first in whatever you do. You cannot just stand by stretching your hands and asking for donations. I simply believe that you have to start, have some track record, build something that it's worth supporting. Because sometimes to go with something that's not worth supporting, you tend to not get support. But I can say that now I'm getting the attention that I deserve, and the government is supporting in different projects that I'm working on at the moment.
Thank you very much. Another question. Land is very scarce in Gambia. So how did you manage to get a prime location to kind of build your properties? When land is scarce in Gambia, I guess it's hard to get. I just want you to share with me what are some of the steps that you take to get that land in prime locations in Gambia.
Very simple, through partnerships.
Okay.
We partnered with the Sosa family who had the land. We came in and became a developer and we developed it. It's difficult when you're trying to do everything on your own or when you're trying to run solo. But by partnering with people or partnering with, being a partner in a project makes life much easier. Yeah.
One final question. I work in healthcare. Do you plan to integrate healthcare in your properties, like a clinic, that people can go to get care in your properties? Do you plan to do that?
So recently we had a discussion with a pharmaceutical, and the idea was to incorporate a pharmacy in our developments going forward. Up until now, we haven't had any. We just have the basic amenities like supermarkets, swimming pool, gym. But I think the next step would be to partner with a pharmaceutical and probably an hospital.
Great. So I work in dentistry, so I'm thinking of opening a clinic in the Gambia. Oral health is neglected in the Gambia. So my hope, my aspiration in the next 2 years is to open a clinic. So I'm looking forward to working with global companies. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for the questions. Yeah. Next.
My name is Sabu. My question is in regard to your property management units. I know you take over the management of customers that come in and buy and live properties. What type of fee structures do you have for those customers? Or do you have it in the form of homeowners association?
Thank you.
Thank you for that question. Yes, let me start with the homeowner association. In all the developments that we do now, there's an HOA in all the developments where you sign when you're buying the property. to sign to become members of that HOA, where you pay a monthly subscription fee. We take care of the security, garbage collection, maintenance, and also the communal amenities. So that is a must when you're buying into this new development. Now, to taking care of individual properties, HOA is, if necessary, depending on how many apartments are there or how many houses are there, one could easily form one. Our fees for managing properties is basically, it depends on the property itself. But the standard fee is around about 10%, I would say.
10% of
the income,
rental income.
the rental income that is coming from. But usually, depending on, again, the situation, because each situation is unique, so we might have to do certain things to put in place, maybe a generator and stuff. Those are costs that we will have to expect the owner to put in place. But again, we'll be happy to do the assessment and look at what is necessary and then advise you accordingly and we can move forward.
So becoming the homeowners association fee, is that like a flexible option, or it's something that going in, you have to have a standard, you have to become a whole, you have to be a member?
Again, I'm going to use Lakeview as an example. Any individual buying a property at Lakeview is signing up to the Homeowners Association straight away, because you have to become a member and adhere to the rules and regulations of the community. So I think for the one bedrooms, it's around 60 to 70 euros per month that you pay. But this takes care of your security, the gardening, garbage collection, and all the communal areas like access to the gym and access to the pool. Without management fees, it is difficult to maintain the standards of these developments. And we know how problematic it is in Gambia to keep things alive or to keep it in a good standard. So we have to make sure that anybody who's buying into these developments also agree to the rules and regulations of the whole HOA to enable us to maintain the standard of the development as far as we can. So it's very important in our development, especially.
Final question. If anyone is interested in purchasing those rental properties, do you have any literature that spells out the covenant of becoming part of that homeowners association, or what is required of you, the buyer, for that particular unit?
Absolutely. I mean, before you make any payment whatsoever, we have the sales agreement that we'll share with you to review. We'll also share the rules and regulations of the Homeowners Association that you can read through to make sure that you're comfortable with what you're signing for. In the meantime, what you can do is to scan the barcodes, and we'll give you the information of the interested projects, and we take it from there. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good evening. I first of all have a comment and half a question. I mean, Saul didn't actually blow his own horn, but if Ajera is known all over the world, partly of Global Property Funds. He's been with us, I think, since he started this company. With Ajera, he has collaborated with Ajera since. And he has always been, how did you guys?
As long as it's technically feasible. Because sometimes we want to move and extend certain ways. If the beams and columns are not allowing it, then it's not possible. But before we start, you have the opportunity to alter, change as much as you can, as long as it's technically possible. So we can accommodate it.
Thank you.
So, my name is Babuka Sila. So you have been with Ajera since day one, so we appreciate that. So my question is, by the way, I'm the president of my subdivision, so I know little thing about HOAs. So with the HOAs, I really would like you to go into details with it, because those amenities cost money, You're talking about a standby generator, a backup to that, and also the gyms, those equipments will depreciate, $60, 60 euros a year. Okay, I don't know if they're sustainable. So a month, oh, it's a month, okay. I guess that makes sense, 60, okay. But my other question is structural warranty or warranty in general for these buildings, because you get these buildings, we all know Gambia, how the rains come down. What sort of guarantees or warranties, be it structural or electrical, plumbing, etc., do you guys give to your customers, when the deal is settled down? Thank you.
Agera is very dear to me, and so is Atlanta. Because like you rightly said, we go way back. And we built a very strong foundation here that has helped us to grow our business. So it's only natural to come back and to come back to home, I would say. So it's a pleasure to be here. Now, in all our developments, we do have structural warranties, and that is 5 years, minimum 5 years for the structural guarantee. When it comes to electrical and plumbing, we give 1 year electrical and 1 year plumbing. Because we feel that during the time that you live there for a whole year, you will know whether the leakages or any other issues with plumbing and electrical. So that we only limit it to 1 year. But the structures are usually 5 years guarantees for sure. Thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah.
Hi, I just want to know if you have any internships or maybe any training programs for your real estate development journey. Someone like myself that is very interested in real estate. I was born here and raised here, but I'm definitely interested in doing some work back home like yourself. And yeah, I just want to know if you have any programs.
So our portfolio is growing, and we certainly need a lot of good people to work with. So we're open to come see the lead and then see how we can work together for sure without any problem. Your best bet would be to speak to.
Thank you so much for having this event in Atlanta. I'm from Atlanta. I am an African American displaced in Atlanta and seeking to come home, and I'm grateful for this opportunity. My husband, Boubacar Mana, has introduced me to this group, and I'm grateful. I have a question. A topic that we work on here in Atlanta quite a bit is climate justice. And we are bringing attention to our sub-Saharan coastal settlements, both in the U.S., where our ancestors first arrived here, and our elders are preserving that land. And we're thinking of home and how the Gambia is experiencing changes to its climate based on global warming. How are your developments considering climate mitigating structure as a solution for what is ahead?
Thank you very much. Before I answer your question, let me just go back to Mr. Sila's question. I just got reminded. To maintain the developments that we have, we also have something called asset fund. This is the asset management fund. So each buyer subscribes to this asset management fund as a one-off payment. And these funds is used, for example, if there are major repairs needed. For example, let's say 3 years down the line or 4 years down the line when the developer exits, the management company takes over and are able to do these major repairs without knocking the doors on the residents. So we'll dip into the asset management fund to either repaint the whole area or fix the generators or fix the elevators if needs be. So that is another area that we also explore. Now, the environment. Traditionally we are deemed as the biggest enemies, the real estate developers, because we've got trees and whatnot. My company is the first and the only NEA certified company that has an NEA certified project in Gambia. So what that means is that we went through a rigorous process in getting a certification from the National Environment Agency. And that led to our project called Green Girl. In the history of the Gambia, we're the only one who've done it. And this is a trend that we intend to continue, because the environment is very important to us, not only to us, but the generations to come. So at the Green Girl development, we have environmentally friendly housing, and the technology that we're using to make sure that we are as close to saving our environment as possible. So it's something that it's very dear to us, and we'll continue to go towards that direction. Thank you.
I think, I'm sorry, Barbara's question, brought about some, what is your quality control program? Do you have any connections with physical planning, inspections and approval? And by the way, the 5-year guarantee on the building, that's very generous. Over here, it's just 1 year. So that's very generous. Now, that brought this to my question regarding quality control. Because I hardly hear of that. If you would, thank you.
For the kind of developments that we do, quality is immensely important. Because our clientele are diverse. They come from all over the world, and therefore they expect certain standards to be met. We recognized this a long time ago, and has put emphasis in making sure that we don't do anything without the approval of physical planning, number one. Number two, we ensure we have supervisors on site to qualify and get certifications approved before we move to the next step. So there's always a battle, between the architect and the contractor, and also the supervisor, to make sure that whatever we say we're going to build and build accordingly, it's done. If not, the certifications are not passed, so we can go to the next stage. So there's control on each level, just to ensure that when the building is completed, we don't have major issues to come back to rectify and so on and so forth. So we take it very seriously.
So with the purchase, it's all documented with the individual purchases?
Everything is well documented, and you'll get the chance to review all the documentations, the homeowners association, and all that as well. So I guess no more questions from the audience. In that vein, I thank you very much for.
Yes. So this is related to the bank. So in here, when you go for bank loan, obviously they look at your credit score. Those the banks in the Gambia, they don't have that facility. So how can they say, okay, you Babu Castillo, you're going to be 15%, and having credit is so good, we can have a 10%. Do they have that kind of facility in the, perhaps a gentleman from the bank can answer that?
He's coming.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Malik Group Head, Public Sector Guarantee Trust Bank Gambia Limited. We are part of this tour to work with our customer, who is a loyal customer of the bank, Global Properties, South Fraser, and we have been doing this thing for a very long time. Today, I am happy to report that he's one of our loyal customers at GT Bank. So we have a mortgage scheme in place with Global Properties for all his projects in the Gambia. So that's why it's important that we are represented here and to give people first-hand information on how to secure this loan for any of his projects in the Gambia. Please, can you repeat your question so I can handle it well?
So what I'm saying is, in America here, we have a credit rating system. So if your credit is bad, it will reflect. So for local banks in the Gambia, how would they know who has a good credit and who don't? And what system do they base it on?
Okay, in any facility that we are about to discuss as a bank, we do checks as well. Sometimes it depends on our relationship with the customer to know whether this is going to be a good credit or not. Banks are not real estates. We don't want to go to court with the customer, we don't want to sell customers' properties. What we want is not the customer giving us a good guarantee, but a customer who we are sure has a good turnover, has a good credit record, then we can give you a facility. So once our checks are done, we are okay with you, honestly, the facility will be disbursed.
So does that mean you're not looking at me as a customer, you're looking at Sol and Global Properties?
No. Because the vetting starts with them.
Okay.
When you want our mortgage, you have to go through them first. Then they will do their vetting based on the requirements that we give them. Then from there, that customer will be referred to us with regards to the account opening and disbursement of the facility. Once they are satisfied with you, we will also do our checking. Sometimes we will have, yes, we will refer the customer back and say, no, A, B, or C is missing. And they will make sure that those requirements are in place.
So the interest rate, there is no disparity in the interest rate?
19% is what we are giving at the moment.
My question.
How do you secure the loan?
The loan.
How do you secure it?
Yes, if they do their vetting now, Global Properties, and send that customer to us, we will establish an account for you first. That is a account or any foreign currency. Then from there, because the amount of the property, we are not giving the whole amount. There is an equity contribution from the customer. That is 25–30% that you have to bring on board. Then the bank will do the rest. Yes.
Okay. But I mean, you are giving out money. I mean, what is your collateral? What is your? How do you secure that? I mean, if there is a default.
It depends on where the property is. Because what we realize is that the Gambia Tourism Board, they won't allow us to take any property that is within the tourism development area as collateral. So if a customer of Global wants a mortgage that is within the TDA, we advise the customer to give us an added collateral of a property outside that area. But some of their properties are outside the TDA, we can use it as a collateral. So whereby, because the title deed will not be disbursed until payment is completed.
Okay, that answers my question.
So we can use that property as collateral, or we use an added property.
And so this is for you. So the defaulting rates, I know this can be very confidential, but if you can give us a general idea of, since you've done this with these banks.
We have zero default on the customers that we've referred to GT Bank. With Trust Bank, I think the default rate is about 5%. But even with that, we were able to convert and make them obviously active customers again. So, yeah. People take housing very seriously, and the moment the opportunity is given to acquire one, very rarely you see defaults happen. Yes, sir.
Thank you. I have a question for Mr. Wu. So you did mention that the interest rate of the loan is 19%. So what happens to my payment, for example, to my payment plan when interest rates fall down? Does it change? Does it remain the same? What happens?
You see, customers are always interested. Anytime interest rate goes up, they will say never, you cannot increase it. You have to maintain what you gave us. But when it's down, they will come back and say, no, let's revalue this loan again and give us a rate lower than what we've agreed. So it depends, because most of the time, interest rate is not going down. Most of the time it's going up. So we also maintain the agreement we have from day one. That's what we maintain for the rest of the year. Yes.
So regardless of any changes in the interest rate?
Yes, we will maintain that.
Another thing that I want, what if I default on payment? Things can happen in life. I mean, I can lose my job. I may not be in existence anymore. What happens? All the money that I've paid for the previous year, what happens to that? Why? get a reform or anything? And that's my favorite question, so I'll go back.
No problem.
Yeah.
So, in the event of default, what usually happens is that we are giving the opportunity to buy back the property from you. Obviously, if you bought it at 2 million, by the time you default, it's worth maybe 2.5 or 3 million. So we'll be happy to buy it back from you at 2 million. And obviously, sell it, pay the cost, and then refund you your money minus administrative cost. Yeah. So it's a win-win for all of us, right?
Good evening, Mr. President. My concern is related to this one's title deeds and somebody buy a property. What is the average time you use the title deed? The reason I'm asking this question is because I bought a property from another real estate agency in Gambia. It took about 4 years. Still, they're telling me that the delayance is from the government. Do you have that problem?
Well, I can say that problem is common, can be common, but we, having been in this business for 17 years, whenever we embark on a project, we also try to secure global consent. So which means that in most of our developments, if you buy something from us today, we should be able to register your title deed either within 74 or 48 hours. Because we already secured the consent for those properties to be able to give you your title deed that fast. So I don't know exactly what happened with that company.
Don't speak on that.
But yeah, I mean, I can only speak on what we can do for you. So.
Good question.
Thank you.
Got a good question for Mr. Malik.
Yeah.
Do you guys penalties? Right. So if you have a loan with your company, with your bank,
No, I get
and you have a, let's say, 24-month term, and somebody's able to pay it off in 6 months, is there a penalty for that? Prepayment?
There is no penalty if you pay the loan before the agreed maturity. But there is a default rate if you are not paying consistently.
Yeah.
But if you take a loan for 10 years and pay in 5 years, that's okay.
Good customer.
Yes, that's okay.
Any question? One more? Come on.
Are there any incentives, can you buy down the interest rate, like in order to pay more? Is that possible?
No, not really. Well, if you're able to pay more than what you're supposed to pay on a monthly basis, that brings example from 5 years to 3 years, and you save obviously on the interest. So that's the only way to buy down the interest rate. Exactly. So instead of maybe servicing 150,000, you're able to do 200,000 or 300,000, then pay it off earlier. It makes a lot of sense, which I advise to most of my clients. Because if you look at the interest rate of 90%, you think, oh wow, that's quite a lot. But it only becomes a lot when you drag the payments for a very long time. Mind you, one of the arguments against why should I take a loan for 19% when I can get something else, it's actually lower than the appreciation of the properties that we have in Gambia at the moment. Because sometimes you buy a property for 3 million with an interest rate of 19% that you pay. But the appreciation on these properties are around about 30% annually. So which means that there's a gain of between 10 and 11% that you can get right there. Okay.
So, for clarification purposes,
yes,
I'm
sir.
putting emphasis on the 90% from the bank. But if they secure the loan directly from you, 0%, right?
Yes, but we won't give you the 3, 4, or 5 years that the bank is going to give you. We'll just give you maybe a year or 2 maximum.
Can I double dip? Can I go with you? 24 months and say, hey, Mr. Bank, I want to do the rest with you.
Absolutely, why not? Some people actually are doing that, so it makes sense.
What would the bank accept that? That's your question. Will you do that? Will you accept it?
No, see. Yeah.
If I say, let's say, like Yolanda was saying, some of your properties, you can pay it off, what, 24 for 30 months? Right?
Yes.
So after the 24 or 30 months, it's not paid off. Can I call Mr. What's your name again? Mr. Wu, can I call, so hey, can you call Mr. Wu for me to finance the apartments?
Of course. I mean, for the bank, they're happy to finance. The lower the request from them, the better. You know, they don't have a limit in terms of what they can lend to you when it's low. Yes. Right. I think we've exhausted all the questions. So once again, thank you very much for your time and attention. And I'll hand over the mic to our able host. Thank you.
That was a beautiful Q&A. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Global Property and their team. Well, that was, like I said, so long. This brings us to the end of tonight. And, you know, Global Properties, if you know anyone that's lives in one of the states that they're going to be in, you can also let them know that we've learned a lot today and hope they can also join us on the tour to learn more about Global Properties. So on behalf of Global Properties and myself, I would like to say thank you all so much for being here, and it was really nice meeting each and every one of you. Thank you. And one more announcement. If you haven't heard or if you don't know, this weekend is a big weekend for the Ajara organization here in Atlanta. So if you haven't done so by now, get more information. This weekend is going to be about Gambia, it's about Gambians celebrating each other, and also the most important thing is coming together as family. So tomorrow is the cultural night, Saturday is the gala, and Sunday is also the park. So thank you all, and again, once again, Global Properties, for the people that have not registered or haven't scanned the QR code, I would highly recommend you scan it unless we have your information, if not for now, for future sake. So again, once again, thank you all so much and have a happy 4th of July. Thank you.